Well, that's cooling down over there. We're going to finish up what we need to over here. If I remember correctly, I said we had to cut this down and this down because it's too high. Now normally I wouldn't screw with it on a day like this because I have extra cases that already have them chiseled down, or they come with the correct ones. We're going to, with the method I use, reuse the X clamps. However, we have to modify them. We also have to modify drilling out the holes here. So first of all, you take these, take a pair of pliers, straighten them up slightly. Got a whole set of these pliers are Harbor Freight, $8. There's like half a dozen of them in the set. You can't go wrong. Harbor Freight. Little plug for my favorite store. Now you're not straightening them out all the way because what we're going to use is a Dalian hammer, or any flat piece of metal, and any kind of hammer will work just fine. You're going to take them and you're going to tap them over. But since I don't want to do them on my workbench because I got a hot plate over there, we're going to do it on the floor, and I'll bring it back as soon as I'm done here. Alright, we flattened them off. You can see what they look like, how flattened up. Now we don't need the tabs, so we're going to take the tin snips and just simply cut the tabs off. Like that. Now that's done, let's do the case. I'm going to take a drill with a 3/16 bit in it, and we're going to drill from the back side because you're going to have burrs and it's easier to grind them off this way. And you just simply take it, and since I don't want the metal particles all over my workbench, I'm going to do it off to the side. And there is it with the holes. So what I do is I do a combination of, you're using these, and I think it's on llama.com. He used to tell you to drill the holes and you put 4 washers on here. But since we got these, you'll use 3. But I'm going to take and I bought a die grinder and the pads, and it's easier to get in there to cut all these. It's easy to grind this off. $15 at Harbor Freight. If you got an air compressor, it works good. If not, then you're going to have to file them down, and that takes too much time. But let me get grinding here and I'll bring it back. Grinding's all done. You might be able to see, I already ground these down. Got the burrs all off. Took and deburred the backside too. The clamps all have their edges off them. Nice. I also take and I just tweak them. I've already tweaked these just so they're a little bit higher than they were before. That gives a little extra pressure. Because the problem with just using screws and washers is it bows the CPU down. The reason Microsoft uses these clamps on the back is to put even pressure on the back and top of the CPU. So it works good. So do it that way. To find out if you've taken these down enough, you take 3 of your steel washers, lay them in there, and then just sight through the different openings to make sure you got it all down. Do the same thing with the front one. These ones here have already been checked out. So I use 5mm, the 16 long, although 14 would probably do. It's just that I originally bought 12s and the 12s weren't long enough to use with the clamps. So I went ahead and got 16s, and they're a bit long, but you know what? I have plenty to work with. Put the screws in, grab some blue painter's tape. Put it along the bottom, that keeps the screws in. And you can put the screwdriver right through there, it doesn't matter. It'll tape it up nice. Flip her back over. Then you want to take the washers. Each of these washers, if you look at them carefully, there's a rough side and there's a shiny side, the machine side. I always put the machine side or the shiny side up so that the clamps or the old X clamps won't hang up on it. It's like a wash, it's like a bearing then. So I'll put one washer underneath each of these. And then I'll put on the clamps. I usually put them on, there's a little notch in there. I usually put them on facing the rear. That way I know if somebody's been screwing with it, is because they won't ever research it to put it back on right. Then I'll put 2 more washers in each one. And again, I use the shiny side out. Makes it nice and keeps them from binding. Plus, against the motherboard, you want to use the shiny side of the washer so it doesn't chafe the motherboard. There we are. We're ready for the motherboard when it's finished cooling off over there. You need to keep your washers out because you need to put, the board in, you put 2 more washers in each one, but you put your nuts away.